Heart on Ice, a hockey romance by Nora Ambrose. Narrated by Nora Ambrose. This full-cast audiobook was produced using AI voice modification paired with the performance from a live human actor. Chapter 3. Breaking the Ice. Each echo of Stacy's footsteps called up a gentle ache of both excitement and trepidation. She had grown used to these early mornings, the subtle hum of fluorescent lighting and the faint scent of disinfectant on the hallway's gleaming tiles. But today, her heart fluttered at the promise of another step toward her biggest dream, universal gold. Pressing her palm lightly against the cold glass, she spotted Megan Tran at the far end of the pristine rink. Megan, with her hair tucked neatly under her goalie mask, looked more like a warrior poet than an athlete, poised, resolute, and lost in her own disciplined ritual of stretching. The swirl of freshly resurfaced ice caught the overhead lights, glowing like a stage set for a grand performance. Stacy felt a familiar surge of affection then, because despite all their jokes and challenges, there was something almost magical in the way Megan found her focus. And as their gazes met through the plexiglass, Stacy's own determination solidified. Together, they would conquer this arena and every obstacle standing in their path. More players began filtering in. Kendall, Crusher Rivera, and Harper Wren arrived together, their defensive partnership evident even in how they walked. Jordan Jaws Collins followed close behind, eager for contact drills.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day to see everybody out on the ice.
Stacy greeted them, her captain's voice carrying across the ice.
How's about we get warmed up before Coach Geller arrives?
I'm always warm.
Jade Firecracker, Michaels quipped, her red hair visible beneath her helmet. Crusher Rivera was less chipper.
Ease back on the double espressos, Firecracker. My daughter kept me up all night last night with a cold.
The ritual of practice settled around them like a comforting hum. Pucks clattering, skates carving tight arcs, the occasional shout of encouragement. Then Rachel Thompson glided onto the ice, late as always, the fluorescent lights catching in her glossy hair. She exuded a polished coolness that made Stacy's blood boil. Instead of meeting Stacy's friendly nod, Rachel drifted to the far end of the rink with an elegant turn of her blades, as if they were strangers rather than teammates. The faint sting of that casual dismissal lingered in the air, a silent thread of tension woven through the team's seamless cooperation. Stacy fought the urge to confront her then and there, knowing better than to spark conflict so early in the day, but she couldn't quite banish the awareness that this blonde bombshell on the team was trouble.
All right, 3 lines up first.
Stacy called out.
The rest of you rotate in when I blow the whistle.
They spent the first half hour running line rushes and breakout drills, honing passing lanes and quick transitions. Shaylin Abbott and Mackenzie Foster were running their own goalie drills alongside Megan at the far end. The 3 netminders had developed their language, communicating through subtle gestures and nods as they practiced lateral movements.
Hey, Cap, mind if we run that new breakout play?
Ember Jang called from the blue line, her quiet voice carrying surprising authority. The defender had been studying game tape religiously, always looking for tactical advantages.
I like the hustle, Ember.
Complimented Stacy.
Crusher, Jaws, you in?
Defenders Kendall, Crusher, Rivera, and Jordan Jaws Collins immediately fell into position. Despite their aggressive nicknames, they moved with surprising grace, demonstrating why they were considered one of the best defensive pairs in women's hockey.
Firecracker, Ollie, Doe. You're our forwards. I need everyone else on the bench.
Stacy directed. Firecracker Michaels, Olivia Grant, and Delphine Del Laurent grouped up, their different playing styles complementing each other perfectly. Jade's intensity, Ollie's scrappy determination, and Del's elegant precision. As they ran through the play, Stacy noticed Rachel watching from the bench, her expression unreadable. The tension between them was like a thin crack in ice, barely visible but threatening to spread. Del Laurent executed a perfect tape-to-tape pass.
Nice hand, Del.
Praised Stacy. The forward acknowledged the compliment with her characteristic ballet-like spin. Team Joker, Peyton Hayes called out from the bench.
Yo, Dally,
Save some skill for the rest of us.
The light moment was interrupted by Coach Geller's arrival. Even Rachel straightened up, her attention shifting to their leader. Whatever personal dynamics existed between teammates, they all shared one goal: universal gold.
All right, ladies.
Stacy announced.
Let's show Coach what we've been working on. Full ice, 5-on-5. Make it count.
The practice intensity increased as Coach Geller took his position on the center ice. Stacy led the first line, with Firecracker Michaels and Del Laurent on her wings. Crusher and Jaws anchored the defense while Megan settled into her crease with laser focus. Facing off against them were some of the best players on the team. Rachel Thompson took her place in center ice, Quinn Morales and Olivia Ollie Grant, with Ember Zhang and Harper Wren on defense. Mackenzie Foster squared up in goal, her stance aggressive and challenging. Stacy won the face-off clean, snapping it back to Crusher. The drill moved at lightning speed, passing crisp, precise movements, and every player anticipated rather than reacting. Del executed a perfect give and go with Firecracker. Their chemistry was evident in how they read each other's movements.
Screen!
Megan shouted as Rachel's line pressed the attack. Crusher cleared the crease with authority, sending Rachel sprawling. The tension between them crackled, but both players kept their focus professional.
Let's run that again.
Coach Geller commanded.
Faster transitions, sharper passes. This is the Universal Games, damn it. Not beer league.
They ran the drill repeatedly, each repetition more demanding than the last. Players rotated in and out. Dakota Dagger Voss showed off her lethal snapshot, and Avery Langston demonstrated why she'd earned her spot despite being one of the younger players. Coach Geller called out to Stacy.
Carter, I want to see that behind-the-net play. Run it with Thompson's line defending.
Stacy caught Rachel's eye. The challenge was clear. This wasn't just a drill anymore. This was about proving who could lead this team to gold. The puck dropped, and the ice became a skill, strategy, and sheer will battlefield. This was universal preparation at its most intense, where champions were forged one grueling practice at a time. The two women battled each other behind the net with everything they had. Their sticks clapped together with enough force to snap them. Rachel won the first face-off clean, but Stacy's squad came back to win the next two. The practice session continued as the puck ping-ponged off both their sticks. Coach Geller had to blow his whistle twice to break them apart. After the grueling practice session, Stacy glided to the goal where Megan was methodically gathering pucks.
You owe me dinner after that last save.
Stacy teased, scooping stray pucks into her arms with playful abandon.
I'm not sure how many times you can rob me of top shelf before it becomes a crime of passion.
Megan lifted her mask, revealing flushed cheeks and dancing eyes.
You're dreaming, Carter. That shot was never going in. I've seen more precise aim from my younger cousin, and she's only 7.
Stacy's lips curved into a fond smile. For all her tough bravado, Megan's warmth was like a gentle hand on Stacy's shoulder, an unspoken promise that no matter what trials the day brought, they could still find a moment of joy in each other's company.
Keep talking.
She said, letting her voice ring with mock challenge.
Before you know it, I'll be painting the highlight reel of me finally scoring on you, just so the whole world can see.
As long as you paint my heroic glove saves too, Picasso.
Megan shot back, eyes sparkling with the kind of camaraderie that made every bruise and early morning worth it. They both burst out laughing, the kind of easy laughter from years of friendship. Stacy and Megan lingered as other players filed off the ice, falling into their water break ritual of casual shots and conversation.
Rachel has really been pushing it today.
Megan observed quietly.
What bug do you think crawled up her ass?
Oh, who the hell knows? It's always something with her. Some people have something to prove. But you would know all about that now, wouldn't you, Megan?
Hey, I'm a perfectly delightful human being. I got nothing to prove to nobody. I'm only making you sweat so we can both get better.
Megan smirked. Stacy rolled her eyes with obvious affection.
My job is to lead this team. Yours is to keep me humble.
Look, we both dream in red, white, and blue.
Megan whispered, sincerity shining in her eyes.
But you're the one who lights the way for all of us. I wouldn't trade you for 1,000 gold medals.
The simple sincerity of the statement caught Stacy off guard, warming her heart despite the chill of the rink. This was why their friendship worked. Megan knew precisely when to joke and when to be accurate. Megan was the only player on the team Stacy would allow to ask,
How's your dad?
Stacy sank onto the wooden bench, the faint hum of the overhead fluorescent lights giving the room a strangely hushed quality. She could still smell the tang of sweat and rubber, a testament to the morning's labors on the ice. Megan sat beside her, close enough that Stacy could feel the soft warmth of her friend's shoulder.
He's got his good days and bad days. Still acts like the only thing stopping him from winning gold for us is magically growing a pair of tits.
Stacy murmured, voice nearly lost in the silence of the rink.
Every treatment knocks him down, yet he doesn't want anybody to see him weak. Big Jack Carter has always been stubborn, and that's never going to change. But I don't know how much longer that he can hold out.
Megan's eyes shone with sympathy as she reached out, resting her hand lightly on Stacy's arm.
That kind of spirit doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's in you, too. Every stride you take on the ice, every morning you show up ready to fight.
The simple truth of Megan's words wrapped around Stacy's heart like a comforting embrace.
I lost Mom. I don't know what I'm going to do if I lose him. I can't let him down, Meg. This might be his last chance to see me win gold.
Megan reached over, gently squeezing Stacy's arm.
You're never alone, okay? We've been side by side since we could barely hold a stick, and that doesn't change anything, just because we were chasing gold or fighting life's hardest battles.
That drew a laugh from Stacy when she needed it the most.
You're absolutely ridiculous. You know that?
It's part of my charm.
This was why she needed Megan. Her friend knew precisely how to balance the weight of their universal dreams with moments of genuine connection and laughter. The afternoon practice session was winding down when Rachel Thompson's voice cut across the ice like a skate blade.
Hey, Carter,
Rachel called out, her tone carrying that familiar edge of challenge.
how about we show these rookies how it's done? One-on-one drill?
Stacy turned slowly, aware of how the other players had stopped their drills to watch. Even Megan, working with Shaylin Abbott on rebound control, straightened up in her crease.
We should be working on the team plays.
Stacy responded evenly, though she could feel her competitive spirit stirring. Rachel's lips curled in a mock-sweet smile.
Sure you don't want to do this, Captain? I'd hate to embarrass you in front of your adoring fans. Especially when you've had enough of your plate already. Right?
The not-so-subtle dig from Rachel about the time Stacy took off for her brother's engagement party, maid of honor duties, and visiting her cancer-stricken father was not lost on Stacy. Around them, the ice seemed to crackle with tension. Avery Langston and Quinn Morales exchanged glances while Firecracker Michaels looked ready to intervene. Rachel stood across from her, shoulders squared and an almost defiant glimmer in her eyes. The hush that fell over their teammates was more intense than any roar of a stadium crowd. For a breathless moment, Stacy saw not just a rival or a teammate, but a reflection of her own ambition and insecurities. Someone just as desperate to prove her worth, no matter the cost. The air practically crackled with tension, as if a storm were about to break right there on the gleaming ice. There was no singular reason for the rivalry that developed between Rachel and Stacy. If that were the case, the women might have been able to find common ground. No, the heated conflict between them was born out of a series of micro-transgressions, all piling onto each other, threatening to implode the team. 1,000 things had unraveled them as teammates, every time Stacy benched Rachel in practice in favor of a less talented player on the ice. A rogue insult hurled during a fight that carried enough sting to last for years. Rachel blaming Stacy for a friend of hers being cut from the team. Then, Stacy won the role of captain, which Rachel thought she deserved. Each stride they took was steeped in silent conflict, a symphony of unspoken words and bruised egos. Watching from the boards, the rest of Team USA grew still, mesmerized by the raw energy that electrified every pass, every collision against the glass. And in those relentless, furious seconds, Stacy couldn't help but wonder if their greatest battle might not be against rival countries, but against the rifts forming within their own ranks. She took a deep breath, tensed her muscles, and attacked. The first rush ended with Stacy deking past Rachel's poke check, only for Megan to make a flashy glove save. Rachel's answering rush saw her try to muscle through Stacy's defense, resulting in both players slamming into the boards. Their following exchanges grew increasingly physical. Stacy caught Rachel with a clean hip check that sent her spinning, while Rachel responded with a stick lift so aggressive it nearly sent Stacy's stick flying. Stacy retaliated on her next rush, putting a move on Rachel that left her sprawled on the ice. The puck found the back of the net past Megan's outstretched pad.
Rough enough for ya?
Stacy asked, skating past. Rachel's face darkened.
Lucky move.
Before anyone could intervene, both players launched themselves at each other again, battling for every inch of ice. It wasn't about the drill anymore. It was about leadership, respect, and the simmering tension finally boiling over. The rest of Team USA had gathered at center ice, watching the heated battle unfold. Their faces reflected concern, discomfort, and fascination as their captain and her challenger continued their increasingly aggressive exchanges.
This isn't good for my chi,
Quipped Ember.
Someone should stop this.
Del Laurent murmured, her usual grace replaced by nervous energy as she shifted from skate to skate.
Let them work it out.
Firecracker responded, though her usual bravado was subdued.
Better here than in Sapporo.
Another heated bump along the board sent both players off balance, skates scraping against the tempered glass. The team had unconsciously divided itself. Some players drifting toward Rachel's side of the ice, others clustering near Stacy's end. Peyton Hayes, usually quick with a joke, remained uncharacteristically silent. The absence of her humor underscored the gravity of the situation. Dakota Dagger Voss finally voiced their thoughts.
If they can't figure this out, we might as well just hand Canada the gold medal right now.
Enough.
Coach Geller's voice boomed across the ice, causing Stacy and Rachel to pull up short. He stood at the boards, his presence commanding immediate attention. The rest of the team straightened instinctively.
Carter. Thompson. Here. Now.
His tone left no room for argument.
The rest of you. Cool down laps.
As the team began their laps, carefully avoiding eye contact with either player, Stacy and Rachel skated to the bench. Both were breathing hard, sweat dripping from their faces, neither looking at the other.
Why do I see my two best players letting ego and personal rivalry threaten everything we've worked for?
Coach,
Rhetorical question, Thompson. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., you'll both be running special drills together. And if I see anything like this again, you'll both be watching from the bench in Sapporo. Are we clear?
Yes, Coach.
Yes, Coach.
Carter, my office.
Barked Coach Geller. Stacy fought the urge to sock Rachel in the face. Geller had been more irritable than usual lately. The pressure was definitely getting to him. USA Hockey was leaning hard on him. It was a tightly kept secret, but if Team USA lost gold in Sapporo again, Geller would be replaced as coach. The instant Stacy stepped into Coach Geller's cramped office, she sensed the shift in the air, a chill that had nothing to do with the arena's refrigeration. Hockey paraphernalia adorned every inch of the walls, news clippings from past victories, jerseys once worn by champions, and medals reflecting the overhead light like silent accusations.
Close the door,
He said quietly, his gaze never leaving the worn-out pages of his playbook. She did as told, her skates brushing against the floor in a whisper of rubber and steel. When Coach Geller finally looked up, the weight of disappointment in his eyes all but stole her breath.
This isn't you, Carter. All that rage out there. I've watched you turn obstacles into triumphs 100 times. But today, it feels like you're losing the battle to something bigger than a single opponent.
Rachel started it.
I don't care what Rachel was doing.
His voice cut through her excuse like a skate through fresh ice.
She's hurt over a losing captain and lashing out at you. Being captain of this team means more than just wearing a letter on your jersey. Do you know why I chose you as captain?
Stacy shifted uncomfortably.
Because I work hard.
Because you make others better. Because when you're at your best, this team follows. When you let someone like Rachel get under your skin, the team follows that too.
The truth of his words hit harder than any body check. Stacy thought about how the team had divided during their confrontation, the uncertainty she'd seen in the younger player's eyes.
We're 2 weeks out from Sapporo. 2 weeks from the moment this team has been preparing for their entire lives. And right now, instead of focusing on Canada, Finland, or any of the opponents, we're fighting ourselves. This team needs their captain. Not someone distracted by personal vendettas or pride. They need the leader I know that you can be.
You're right.
Stacy said quietly, meeting his gaze.
I let my emotions get the better of me today. It won't happen again.
Coach Geller sat back down, studying her face.
Don't make promises you can't keep. Rachel's going to keep pushing. That's who she is. I need to know how you will handle it next time.
I won't let you down, Coach.